You're back on Starting Gate. I'm Regina Lay. From mall development to e-commerce and logistics to the outlook for the real estate industry. Well, hardly a day goes by when we don't touch on the many businesses the SM Group is involved in. So for some updates, we brought in Cora Guidote. She's the SVP for Investor Relations at the SM Group. Cora, good to have you on the show again. Welcome.
Good morning, Regine.
There's so much to get through here, and I only have less than 10 minutes, so I'm going to structure it. We're going to begin with logistics, being that SM had already made some place into it. A few weeks ago, Bloomberg spoke to SM Investment CEO Ricky Debuncio, who said that logistics could very well become the fourth business pillar. That's after retail, property, and banking. Talk me through the opportunities you're seeing.
Well, we're taking a long-term view on logistics. We think that it's a sector that can grow faster than the economy in the sense that, if it usually grows when the economy is vibrant, it grows like 2 to 3 times faster than GDP. So we're quite optimistic about the prospects for logistics. And To-Go is actually the most complete end-to-end supply chain that you can find in the market.
You're talking about the shipping firm To-Go, of which SM had just bought a 34.5% stake.
Yes, it's both shipping and logistics. So there's shipping and non-shipping operations, but the shipping largely supports the logistics operations as well.
So this 34.5% stake, is there a plan to raise that amount eventually, or to even at some point maybe wholly acquire To-Go?
Well, not at this time. So we're like, just coasting along at this point. We're reviewing the operations of To-Go to make sure that, the sustainability of the business is there. Looking at the governance practices of the company as well, to at least if there's a need to further strengthen, then we can do that as well.
And which parts of the existing business of SM will To-Go be supporting initially?
Well, we don't know yet. We're still in the review phase. But knowing that logistics is really an essential part of growth for any company, then we're pretty sure there will be synergies that will come along the way.
Of course, logistics and e-commerce are two sides of the same coin. How fast are you guys moving the e-commerce space? I mean, at the last ASEAN Business Forum, we heard Vice Chair Tessie C. Coson talk about how important the digital strategy is to the group. But what business decisions have been made on that front?
Well, there's so many on several fronts. Now, on retail itself, we have an arrangement with Lazada. As you know, we have a revenue sharing agreement with Lazada where they carry our store like they are a virtual mall. On the mall front, we have been changing the tenant mix so that instead of just relying on shopping, basically we have transformed the malls into a community center or a social infrastructure where people really go to do things, not just to shop. But you can do your entertainment, wellness. I mean, we have clinics.
So moving more of those services online.
Yeah, we're going more towards services, and dining is now 30% of GFA, coming from 10%. So we're making it...
GFA meaning gross floor area.
Yeah, gross floor area. So we're making it much more of a community center where people can gather.
Any plans, I suppose my question is, any plans to acquire an e-commerce platform in the near future? Much the same way that, for instance, that Ayala had bought into Zalora.
I think we're taking a different track on e-commerce in the sense that we are not that keen on the platform itself, but working with the platform through logistics, perhaps.
So it's not necessary at this stage to bring that service in-house, to bring the e-commerce.
Well, there are a lot of companies that are better than us on that on that front. So I think we're better off just providing the service to them instead of us, competing with them, because we're in a weak position if we do that.
Are you at liberty at this stage to discuss how much SM, the whole group, is looking to plow into the e-commerce space? If not to acquire a company, but to at least disperse it across the empire?
It's really hard to put it in numbers because we're already doing a lot of things to prepare for e-commerce on the retail, banking, and property front. Even in our new acquisitions, we're looking at that already.
I want to move on now at this stage to the property side of things. What's going on with the investment with MyTown, the dormitory chain? I understand last I kept track of this, we're talking about a 61.2% stake in MyTown.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
what's happened with that one?
Before I go to my town, just to kind of explain, my town falls in a different category for SM investments, where we have this new area where we have equity investments in companies that are run by other management groups, and basically we're investing in their skills. And these are companies that provide us fresh growth concepts because we're really looking for growth opportunities, considering that the Philippines is growing at 6 to 7% per annum. So my town falls in that category. While it is in property, it provides a fresh concept in property, which is niched in providing, alternative spaces for transient workers or young professionals in the BGC area for now. There's a dire need for affordable quality space in the BGC area. And of the 3 buildings that my town already owns or operates, it's already 90% occupied. So the outlook is very good, and right now my town is building around 12 structures more, and they plan to launch it next year.
So in short, SM is not looking to take an active hand in managing my town.
Yes.
You're happy to leave it to the experts and just participate in revenue sharing. But any chance of any talks to raise that holdings in my town at this stage?
Again, there's no plan. We're just gonna go with the flow for now, and we're happy with the way they're operating. I mean, 90% occupancy for all 3 buildings is very good.
I want to talk, talking about property as well, moving on now to infrastructure. How interested is the group in participating in the government's Build, Build, Build program? We know at the stage, for instance, that SM has already partnered with Ayala for the C3 Expressway, but beyond that, what plans are there?
Well, on the banking front, we're still very keen in funding infrastructure projects. Other than that, we will be very opportunistic on the infrastructure front, just like the C3X project that we put a bid on. So we'll wait for that whether or not it'll be approved, we'll just have to wait and see.
What does it mean when you tell me that you're looking to be opportunistic? What sort of parameters do you guys have?
Well, basically, we will probably go into infrastructure projects that will have very strong synergies with our existing projects, because we're really not in the business of infrastructure. Again, we only want to go into business where we can be very competitive. And there are a lot of opportunities out there, so we tend to be very selective.
Would an airport project be considered a good play?
We bidded, if you recall, years ago, we bidded for an airport project in Mactan together with Zurich Airport. Unfortunately, we didn't win the bid. So if there are other airports that may make sense, for the business, then why not?
So there are talks at the moment within the boardroom of participating more bidding for these projects?
Not particularly for airports, but maybe in some other projects.
And just very quickly, Cora, let me end on a positive note. SM Prime hit 1 trillion peso, I should say, market capitalization last week, the first for a Filipino company. How big of a milestone was this internally?
Well, we're very happy for SM Prime, and they deserve it. The whole group has been pouring a lot of resources into SM Prime, and we believe in the property story of the Philippines. So I think it won't stop at 1 trillion pesos. I think there's more scale to be gained from the investments in SM Prime.
So full steam ahead for SM Prime at this stage?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to leave it there. Cora Guidote, Senior Vice President for SM Group. Thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you, Regine.